From her iconic role as the sharp, sophisticated Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show to her award-winning performances on Broadway, Phylicia Rashad has long been a force in Hollywood. But while most fans remember her as the ultimate TV mom, few realize just how much she's changed, both in her career and in her personal life. So, what's behind her remarkable transformation? And why are people saying she looks almost unrecognizable today? Stick around as we dive into the fascinating transformation of Phylicia Rashad. Phylicia Rashad's mother was a massive influence on her and her sister. Phylicia Rashad was born on June 19, 1948, in Houston, Texas, as the second of 4 children. Her father was a dentist, and her mother, Vivian Ayers Allen, was a Pulitzer Prize-nominated poet who had a profound impact on her and her siblings. According to her sister, actress Debbie Allen, their mother instilled a strong sense of creativity and possibility in them, despite not growing up with privilege. My mother, Vivian Ayers, always made us believe that we were part of a universe that welcomed us, that wanted our creativity, and was waiting for us to do something good, Allen once shared at a tribute to their mother. And so, we've been doing that forever. Rashad herself has often credited her mother for nurturing her imagination. In an interview on Sway in the Morning, she recalled how Vivian never shut down their ideas, no matter how unconventional they were. The kids once turned their floor into a skating rink using baby powder and socks, and another time, Rashad sprinkled cornflakes on the floor as a makeshift burglar alarm. Instead of scolding them, their mother encouraged their ingenuity. She never chastised us for being creative, Rashad reflected. Phylicia Rashad and her siblings have always been in the arts thanks to their mother. Thanks to their mother's influence, the Ayers children were practically destined for careers in the arts. As Phylicia Rashad shared in an interview with the Archive of American Television, "We were always in the arts." She fondly remembered how their mother would gather them as kids and use candy Easter eggs to teach them about music notes and reading music. Rashad was only 6 at the time, but the lessons stuck with her. "That was my first lesson in fractions," she recalled. When it came to their early artistic influences, Rashad mentioned the Mickey Mouse Club, the Ed Sullivan Show, and Sid Caesar as some of their favorites. But despite growing up in a household deeply immersed in the arts, she still had plenty of childhood moments spent climbing trees and playing in the mud with her siblings. Phylicia Rashad felt like the ugly duckling in her family for a long time, until she found acting. In her interview with the Archive of American Television, Phylicia Rashad shared that she knew she wanted to be a performer by the time she was 11. Interestingly, her love for theater stemmed from her struggles with self-confidence. She admitted that growing up, she often felt unattractive compared to the rest of her family. "I was the ugly duckling in this family of beautiful people, and I was very self-conscious about it," she revealed. Her perspective started to shift after a moment on stage that she never forgot. She had been asked to read at an event, and since it was her first time in front of an audience, she was caught off guard by the brightness of the spotlight. "I just talked to the light," she recalled. Later that evening, she overheard mothers pointing her out to their daughters, saying, "There she is. There's the little girl who spoke so beautifully. Isn't she beautiful?" That moment was life-changing. Right then, Rashad decided she wanted to be an actress, so she could play in the light and be beautiful all the time. As she grew into her craft, she realized that true beauty wasn't just about appearance. It came from her ability to connect with others through heartfelt communication. Attending Howard University taught Phylicia Rashad about the discipline of acting. After high school, Phylicia Rashad continued her education at Howard University's drama department, a decision strongly influenced by her father. In an interview with the Archive of American Television, she recalled, "My father said, 'You're going to go to Howard University,' before showing her a magazine article highlighting the school's renowned drama program. 'So I went to Howard University,' she said simply. Rashad credited her time at Howard with giving her the foundation she needed to become a strong actor. At the time, the university had a robust fine arts department that provided rigorous, full-scale acting training. "We were plunged into the discipline from the first day," she recalled. "The program was intense, and the instructors had high expectations for their students. We were in the drama department, and we had work to do," she said, emphasizing the demanding nature of the curriculum. Reflecting on her alma mater during Howard University's Charter Day in 2009, Rashad shared how much the school had stayed with her over the years. "Howard University affords not only a structure but a foundation as well for the human being," she said, adding that every student becomes part of a living legacy. Phylicia Rashad credits this for making her a great actor. Along with her rigorous drama training at Howard University, Phylicia Rashad credits Siddha Yoga as a crucial part of her growth as an actor. In an interview with the Harvard Crimson, she reflected on how challenging it was to break into the theater scene after moving to New York City. "It was the first time I ever felt like I lacked something," she admitted. She found herself constantly seeking approval, believing she had to please others in order to land a job. "My mind was constantly moving outward," she explained. It was through Siddha Yoga that Rashad learned to quiet those anxieties and center herself in her craft. "Truthfully speaking, my entire career and life is based on Siddha Yoga," she shared, emphasizing how the practice helped her find peace and stillness in her mind. For her, the most powerful moments on stage or in front of a camera happen when her mind isn't overthinking, but simply allowing everything around her to unfold naturally. Phylicia Rashad was cast in The Cosby Show, which transformed her career. Phylicia Rashad may not have realized it at the time, but landing the role of Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show would change her life forever. In an interview with the Archive of American Television, she shared that Bill Cosby had been looking for an actress who could speak Spanish. Fortunately, Rashad already knew Spanish, and with help from a family in her building, she was able to sharpen her skills just in time for the audition. Even though speaking Spanish wasn't required, she wanted to be as authentic as possible, and her dedication paid off, helping her make it to the final round of auditions. During her third audition, Cosby put her on the spot, challenging her to improvise some Spanish she hadn't prepared in advance. She rose to the occasion, but years later she learned that wasn't what ultimately won her the role. "I asked him, 'Why did you cast me?' she recalled. His answer? 'Because of that look in your eye.' And of course, fans of the show will never forget the iconic Claire Huxtable stare. How Phylicia Rashad feels about The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show ran for 8 years, and for Phylicia Rashad, it was an unforgettable experience. Speaking at the ATX Television Festival in 2019, she reflected on her time on set, saying, "We were just having fun." She had no idea the show would become such a massive hit. From a professional standpoint, it was a dream job, fast-paced, well-structured, and filled with incredible talent. There were people: Danny Kaye, Roscoe Lee Brown, Christopher Plummer, Josephine Premis, she recalled. The people who worked with us, the guest artists. It was amazing. Although The Cosby Show has been overshadowed by the sexual assault allegations against Bill Cosby, Rashad continues to treasure the memories she made during that time. At the ATX Television Festival, she focused on remembering the show with warmth and appreciation. In a 2015 interview with Showbiz 411, she admitted that watching Cosby's legacy unravel was difficult for her. No matter what, it's clear that her time on the show remains close to her heart. The truth about Bill Cosby and Phylicia Rashad's relationship. In late June 2021, after Bill Cosby's conviction for aggravated indecent assault was overturned, despite accusations from over 60 women, many people, especially survivors who had testified against him, expressed their outrage. His conviction had been a pivotal moment in the early Me Too movement, and its reversal was seen as a devastating setback. However, while most reactions were filled with disappointment and anger, Phylicia Rashad responded quite differently, sparking controversy of her own. On July 1st, 2023, Rashad, who played Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show for 8 seasons and had maintained a professional relationship with Cosby over the years, took to social media to celebrate his release. In a now infamous tweet, she declared that a terrible wrong is being righted and called his overturned conviction a miscarriage of justice. The backlash was swift, with many condemning her remarks. Among the most notable critics was Howard University, where Rashad had recently been appointed Dean of the College of Fine Arts, who issued a statement distancing itself from her comments, stating that they lacked sensitivity towards survivors of sexual assault and did not reflect the university's values. In response to the criticism, Rashad later attempted to clarify her stance, tweeting that she fully supports survivors of sexual assault coming forward, and insisting that her original post was not meant to be insensitive. This was not the first time Rashad had publicly defended Cosby. Back in 2015, she made headlines for suggesting that the accusations against him were part of a coordinated effort to destroy his career and tarnish The Cosby Show's legacy. Speaking to a reporter, she allegedly dismissed the women coming forward, saying, "Forget these women. What you're seeing is the destruction of a legacy, and I think it's orchestrated." After her remarks caused an uproar, Rashad attempted to clarify her statement, telling ABC News that her words had been taken out of context. "I am a woman," she said. "That is not what I said. What I said is, this is not about the women. This is about something else. This is about the obliteration of a legacy." Phylicia Rashad raised an artistic family. It's no surprise that Phylicia Rashad, with her deep love for the arts, passed that passion down to her children, just as her own mother had done for her. Rashad has 2 children, a son, born in 1973, and a daughter, actress Condola Rashad, born in 1986. Throughout her career, Rashad has played many maternal roles on both stage and screen, and she believes that becoming a mother in real life gave her a deeper understanding of those characters. "I could look at actresses portraying mothers, and I could see who was a mother and who wasn't," she once said. Rashad, her sister Debbie Allen, and their daughters have all carried on the family's artistic legacy. In an interview with Town and Country, Condola reflected on growing up in a household where creativity was at the center of everything. "We were included in whatever they were doing, and I aspired to that level of professionalism and love for what they do," she said. While her mother's dedication to her craft was a major source of inspiration, Condola credited her grandmother as the true foundation of their family's artistic success. After starring on The Cosby Show, Phylicia Rashad returned to her first love, Broadway. Phylicia Rashad has always spoken fondly of The Cosby Show, but television was never her true artistic passion. While she continued to appear in films and TV shows after the sitcom ended, her heart belonged to the stage. Throughout the 2000s, she shifted her focus to theater, taking on a string of acclaimed roles both on and off Broadway. She starred as Peggy in the world premiere of Blue, followed by Helen, The Story, and A Raisin in the Sun. Between 2000 and 2008, she was constantly working in theater, fully immersing herself in the craft. In a 2011 interview with This Stage, Rashad reflected on why she could never stay away from live theater. "It's alive. It's living art," she said. "Theater is very powerful because it is living art and it touches people." For her, the collaborative nature of theater made it even more special. "Theater is a communal effort. It has to work together," she explained, emphasizing the deep connection between the performers and the audience. Phylicia Rashad was the first African-American to win a Tony for Best Actress. One of Phylicia Rashad's most memorable stage roles also made history. In 2004, she played Lena Younger in A Raisin in the Sun on Broadway, becoming the first African-American woman to win the Tony Award for Best Actress. Reflecting on the milestone in an interview with the Archive of American Television, she admitted that the significance of the moment took her by surprise. "I remember thinking, what happened? Nobody was ever nominated before," she recalled. But what mattered most to her was sharing the experience with her family. "The greatest part of winning the award for me was having my mother, my sister, and my daughter with me. That was wonderful." Interestingly, Rashad almost turned down the role. She initially hesitated, but the director convinced her that she could bring something fresh and unique to the character. Rather than portraying Lena as just the archetypal strong mother, Rashad infused her with depth, exploring the complexity of her past and motivations. Her interpretation added new layers to the iconic role, and it's no wonder it earned her a place in Broadway history. Phylicia Rashad taught acting at her alma mater, Howard University. We've already touched on how pivotal Howard University was in shaping a young Phylicia Rashad's acting career. But years later, she came full circle, returning to her alma mater to share her knowledge with the next generation of performers. According to Howard University's Facebook page, Rashad has occasionally taught masterclasses there, and her passion for education extends beyond Howard. She has also taught at Juilliard and Carnegie Mellon. Given her deep commitment to the arts, it's no surprise that Rashad took on a teaching role despite her thriving career on stage. She has long been a vocal advocate for arts education, once telling the Harvard Crimson, "It's an insult on the feminine divine to take arts away from schools." Among the many students she influenced was the late Chadwick Boseman, best known for his iconic portrayal of Black Panther. Reflecting on his time at Howard, Rashad recalled his dedication to the craft. "He wanted to know every single thing there was to know about theater, all of it, and he did not refuse instruction or information from any source or sector." Phylicia Rashad became a director by chance. After spending years captivating audiences on stage, Phylicia Rashad eventually stepped into the world of directing, though it wasn't something she actively pursued. As she told the Los Angeles Sentinel, directing opportunities found her rather than the other way around. "My venture into directing began with an invitation from Constanza Romero, whose husband was August Wilson," she explained. Romero asked her to direct Gem of the Ocean, and from there the invitations kept coming, adding yet another title to Rashad's already impressive resume. Stepping behind the scenes gave her a new perspective on theater. She told Ebony that directing pushed her to keep learning. "I learn something all the time. I'm learning more about the craft of theater, and I'm learning a lot as an actress." In a way, directing helped her deepen her own understanding of acting. Speaking with Afrobella, Rashad reflected on how directing shifted her focus. "As a director, you have to look at every detail of the production," she explained, "while acting is about realizing a character and understanding a person." Clearly, her foray into directing only strengthened her passion for storytelling, both on and off the stage. Phylicia Rashad got a chance to work with her daughter. Phylicia Rashad's daughter, Condola Rashad, has carved out an impressive career of her own, earning widespread respect in the theater world. With a string of Broadway roles and an impressive 4 Tony nominations under her belt, she has firmly established herself as a powerhouse in the industry. The mother-daughter duo eventually had the chance to work together on Lifetime's Steel Magnolias remake, an experience Phylicia described as nothing short of magical. "It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful," she told Ebony, adding that she was blown away by her daughter's professionalism and maturity on set. Interestingly, working together wasn't something they had ever planned when Condola was younger. In fact, as a child, she once told her mother, "Mommy, when I grow up, we'll be best friends and laugh all the time." And judging by their relationship today, that childhood prediction seems to have come true. So far, Phylicia hasn't directed Condola in a play, but that could change in the future. In a conversation on Spectrum News NY1, Condola playfully hinted at the possibility, saying, "Maybe one day you'll direct me in something. I think I'm ready for that." Now that's a collaboration we'd love to see. Phylicia Rashad shows no signs of slowing down. As of 2020, Phylicia Rashad is well into her 70s, but retirement doesn't seem to be on her radar. Instead of slowing down, she's busier than ever, balancing a packed schedule of acting and directing projects. That year, she starred in the OWN drama David Makes Man and took on a role in Pulling the Lever, part of the Black Women and the Ballot Radio play series by the American Slavery Project. On top of that, she was preparing to direct a revival of Blue, bringing new life to a play she first starred in 2 decades earlier. And if that weren't enough, she also appeared in Netflix's holiday film Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. Clearly, Rashad has no intention of taking it easy. Here's how much Phylicia Rashad is really worth. It's safe to say that Phylicia Rashad has built an impressive career for herself. Her net worth is estimated to be around $25 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth. For most actors, landing a steady paycheck in Hollywood is tough, and even fewer reach true stardom. But Rashad belongs to an even smaller group, those who starred in an era-defining, iconic series. Her 8-season run as Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show made her a household name and, most likely, brought in her biggest payday. Given the show's massive success, it's safe to assume she earned a substantial salary throughout its run. However, some of those earnings may have taken a hit when reruns were pulled from many U.S. networks following Bill Cosby's legal troubles. So, how much was Rashad making at the height of the show? While Cosby's salary was frequently reported in the media, Rashad's earnings were less publicized. However, consider this. By 1990, several years into its run, NBC was still paying $2.6 million per episode to license the show, according to the Los Angeles Times. That means there was plenty of money to go around for the cast. As for syndication residuals, movorganizing.org notes that lead actors from 80s TV shows could receive about 5% of their original pay per rerun, which could add up to tens of thousands of dollars per episode. While The Cosby Show was undoubtedly a huge financial win for Rashad, it was just one part of her long and successful career. What do you think about her journey? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into her journey, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content in the future. See you next time.